Over 100 years ago, well over 100 years ago, matter of fact, throughout time, any group in power always chose those in society they would deny power to. Over 50 years ago, the American biker culture was born.
And you don't want to do what I say? Yes or no?
I said I don't make no deal with no cop.
Okay. Come on.
That culture today suffers unjust bias, discrimination, and profiling, which is considered illegal for all other cultures and groups in America. This program is to investigate the reality and the justness to the propaganda against those in the American biker culture.
Basically what it is their way of doing an illegal search legally. That's how I get it.
I've heard some theories about how the government is afraid of three groups, and ex-military, motorcycle people, and people that band together under religious beliefs. So apparently we're a triple threat.
Let's look at the federal definition of gangs. Number one, association of three or more individuals, of course, wearing colors. Now we have NASCAR, we got motorcycle racing, we got hockey, football, unfriendly TSA, on and on and on. We're familiar with gangs, whose members collectively identify themselves by adopting into a group identity. Society is very much familiar with the separation. A lot of these groups, a lot of these gangs, and they go so far as to fight one another, arresting a fire chief, as an example, and whose purpose is in part engaging in criminal activity. Now, of course, society is very much familiar with the real criminal activity of the real gang of three or gang of four in government.
Unconstitutional laws. I'm guilty of breaking those, and I'll do it as long as I live because I'm very defiant against something that was created to either steal your money or control you unjustly by your government. So, yeah.
Anytime you want to divide yourself into a subgroup, the government can take that subgroup and target it. Well, we're trying to get those subgroups back into one large group and make a difference.
One of the most important things we can do is fight to have the government be on our side. And we got certain parts of the government that don't like us, and I'm not going to say it's the police, but it's the police. So if we can create laws that protect us from the police, then we've removed ourselves from the battles with them and we've taken it to a higher level. Right now we are minorities. We are the 1%. We are certain people who are getting persecuted by law enforcement. We need to stop that through legislation.
I was pulled over on her bike because she had custom exhaust, and the local PD explained to her in no uncertain terms to tell all your friends to stay away from to stay away from town. I'm a veteran. I should be able to come home and ride my motorcycle with my friends, with my other vets, and not be discriminated against because I'm on two wheels.
I have been violated by banks, I've been violated by corporations, but I haven't been violated by a biker. We have no right to discriminate against anyone. The whole foundation of our whole society was based on the idea of freedom and liberty. And we have a corporate-owned government who has kind of lost sight of that.
When they show up, and then the whole community is like, well, okay, maybe they're not as bad as what we think they are.
One percenters was the brotherhood. What I searched for with my platoon, what I had, guys got your back, and that's what I get with my brothers.
And of course, Kurt, you're a biker, is that correct?
Yes.
And you're also a hard-working individual. Is that correct?
Yes. I'm a full-time carpenter for a local nonprofit.
I drive a school bus for a public school system. This was a farm that my father started in mid-40s. Him and my mother was a dairy farm originally. And he, in the late 60s, early 70s, got into the horseback riding. Can I date a biker?
I grew up in a house where my grandmother did a lot of cooking, my dad, my mom.
But dating a biker and mixing and mingling with other bikers, right, and clubs that are 1%er and stuff. Have you been heavily involved in drugs? And,
oh, God, absolutely not. No, absolutely not.
And rape?
No, absolutely not.
And pillaging?
You know what?
And criminal activity?
No.
You don't see any of that?
Not at all. I watch the crazy shows that some people put on the TV, but I haven't seen any of that here at all.
Biker attitude. Grimy outlaws and their sweaty mamas, full of beer and crank, rolling around on Harleys, looking for a good time, destroying property, raping teenagers, and killing policemen.
So I notice you're a 1%er.
I am.
So you've decided to be a 1%er and be a criminal the rest of your life. Is that correct?
In the words of the government, yes. In the words of any of my brotherhood and anybody else that are my family, friends, and relatives, everything, no.
I'm here at Steve's Custom Jewelry and Repair, and I'd like everyone to meet Steve Maley. How you doing today?
Good. How you doing?
All right. How many years have you been working on jewelry?
Since 1981.
1981. And you've been a goldsmith for, what, almost 25 years? And you raise children, you have a family, and you work hard at this every day.
Every day. Yep.
You pay taxes.
Every day.
You're a homeowner.
I am.
All right. And you're a biker.
And I am.
And George Maley.
Yes.
This is Steve's father. Are you proud of your son?
I sure am.
But being a biker, isn't that a criminal?
No, it's not a criminal. It's
Really?
a sport.
Right, it's a way of life, a lifestyle.
And actually, the organization that he belongs to is a family organization. It's men, women, and kids.
Mm-hmm. And you're part of the biker culture, and you've been here pretty much your whole life.
Yes, I have.
Okay. Steve, we're very much concerned that a government likes to pick groups of people and victimize these people by unjust propaganda. In the Tyler and Peeps case, we've actually suffered this. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Where innocent people who were not guilty as charged, simply because they were in the biker culture, suffered wrongful accusations, attacks, discrimination, bias, and injustice in the courts. Correct?
Yes.
How do you
Very
feel?
much so.
How do you feel about that, brother?
You got to do something to change it. It's disgusting.
That's right. Right. In other words, justice isn't fair.
It's the good old boy system you got to get rid of.
That's right.
They believe in freedom and liberty.
Justice for all.